hello, 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 hello.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to Sonic Sim Racing, Season 7, Round 6. We're in Monza. We're in Italy for the third time this season, but this is the big one. Sleep guys just getting out on track. Qualifying has just gotten underway. A lot of the drivers out on an outlap, and they get out there, set that benchmark, the qualifying. A lot of Ferraris in the field, not surprising. We are obviously in the home of the Tifosi. Seven Ferraris in the field of 17 drivers. That's the magic number. We had 17 drivers in round 1, 2 and 3. Haven't been able to break that number. Still our record number for season 7. Hopefully we can get that number up to the full allotted 20 for the final round in Kyalami. I think everybody knows that track pretty well. So we're riding with Nick Leon. Waiting for those first lap times to come in. Should be one of the first. Coming here from Nick Leon, we saw a whole smattering of cars leaving the pits right at the start of qualifying. So all these times should come through within a minute or so. All these cars left the pits at the same time. Remaining in the pits for now, we have Gavin, Boucher and Nismax. No movement from them, they remain in the garage. Everyone else out on track. So 14 drivers out on the circuit. It's a busy race circuit. So you want to get that benchmark early on. Don't get it now, maybe you're going to be met with a busy track later on. Can't get that qualifying lap in. Let's see what Nick Leon can come up with here. He's heading down the back straight as we speak. He approaches Parabolica. And onto the main straight he goes. Let's see, is this going to be his first lap time? There's his first lap time. It's a 1:48.3. There's the benchmark for the rest of the field to look at. Kuda goes second. He's 1.2 seconds adrift. And then Freza takes second immediately away. Wesley goes third. Kuda falling down to fourth. And now fifth. Time starting to come in. Told you these times would come in relatively close together. So far 6 drivers have set a lap time. Those drivers in order are Nick Leon, Sania, Supreza, Wesley, Kuda and then Foss. No movement from Gavin, Boucher and Nismax. They remain in the garage. Springbok Gamer out on track as well. Let's have a look at some of the other action. Springbok Gamer in the Lexus yet again. Very brand loyal. Four Ferraris in the top 4. Can Legend, Ranger or Roadrunner make it 5 Ferraris in the top 5? Seems like from the timing sheets we know what car you want to be in. Times continuing to come in. Mike goes 7th, Judge goes 8th, ER goes 10th for the time being, but something wrong with that time. You can see it's 8 seconds off, so he'll surely bring that down. Very close in the midfield. If you go down from 5th to 7th, nothing in it. Kuda does improve. Times just keep on coming in. So difficult to keep everyone updated. Let's have a look. Where is Nismax? Nismax is out on circuit. Eleanor Pace has joined the lobby, so we have finally broken that number 17. We have 18 drivers. 18 drivers here at Monza. And it's not another Ferrari, it's an Audi. Let's ride with Nismax as he goes into Parabolica to spot what I believe will be his first flying lap. Is this his first flying lap? getting ready for one. Goes over the line. As you can see, no lap time there. That was his warm-up lap. This is his flying lap. Going into the first of the 3 major chicanes on this circuit. Need to get these right. Can't be too greedy. Try to take too much curb. That just destabilizes the car. And each one of these chicanes is followed by a long run. So if you ever really want to hit your top end, you really need to get these chicanes right. Make sure you get the traction right on the way out. Make sure you don't land up on the gravel on the way out. Obviously the Lesmo 1. A lot trickier than they look. Something like a Formula 1 car. Formula 1 car, you can take these pretty quickly. One of these you really need to slow down in time, otherwise you miss that braking point. It's got some gravel on the outside that's going to ruin your lap time. And then I always say this is the most important chicane of all. This is Ascari. You've got to get this exit spot on. Don't take too much curb on the inside. There we go, that's what I mean. Just losing a little bit of traction on the way out of Ascari, and that's what you don't want. You want perfect traction on the way out of Ascari to get top end, going down this straight, and then entering into the final corner. It's Parabolica. Go over the line now to set his first lap time. Let's see what that's good for. That's good for 9th. 1:49.6. We did see room for improvement on that lap. You see on the exit of Ascari there. So he's going to keep going. Obviously, what a lot of the guys do is they put in fuel for a couple of laps. They end up doing 2 or 3 laps. And obviously as that car gets lighter, and as those tyres warm up and the brakes get up to temperature, these times will only come down. Currently at the top provisional pole, we didn't see it on screen, but Sania has taken provisional pole with a 1:47.8. Now Nick Leon finds himself half a second adrift all of a sudden. He's going to have to find another half a second from somewhere. Welcome to Archer and Heno, as well as B Racing. That's 3 of the drivers in the watching on the stream as well. Thanks for the support. It's a familiar name, but I haven't heard this man's voice in a very long time. Mr. Devin Allies, welcome to the stream. Thanks for watching. Nick Leon is out on circuit, as is Supreza. These two have taken up the front row in several rounds this season. Can't give you much of an update on what happened last week, because I was not here, unfortunately. I was sitting in darkness, so there was no stream last week. There was no commentary, so I can't tell you much about Laguna Seca, because well, didn't do my homework on it, did I? But we're back for round 6, and so far you want to be in a Ferrari. Best of the rest, Springbok Gamer in the Lexus, he's in 5th. That's your top non-Ferrari driver. Wesley in 6th. He'll like to find another 2/10 so he can join that top 5. Ranger also not too far off. 2 seconds. I don't think he'll pull that. Not too far off. probably say something like, where would you like me to find 2 seconds? And I can't answer that question. It's the reason I commentate on this game and I don't play it. If you are watching, let me know the audio quality and see how does the stream look. Does everything look okay? Does everything sound okay? Before we start this 90-minute race. If anything's wrong, I'd like to sort it out during qualifying. So just 7.5 minutes to go in qualifying, not a long time to go. If you want to get a better lap time, you need to be out on circuit right now. 2 cars are in the pits. That's Sania, man on provisional pole. It's pretty comfortable at the moment. That provisional pole is just over half a second. Roadrunner and Springbok Gamer also in the pits. Everyone else out on track. 15 cars, sorry, out on circuit of the 18 runners. Fantastic. Thanks Devon. Appreciate it. As far as most of what you see on screen, a lot of that is up to Nizmax. Does a lot of work behind the scenes, and he sends me everything. I just need to put everything together and put everything in place and make it work. But if I had to make these logos, I don't think things would look quite as nice. I'm not as patient or creative. Legend comes into the pits. Nick Leon still out there. Hasn't been able to improve so far. That he's improved just a little. Not enough. Still half a second adrift from Sania. Thank you to Sania also on the stream there. Nice to see you. It's a fantastic lap time so far, 1:47.4. You're on provisional pole by just over half a second. So you're sitting in the pits and sending a few comments out. So I think our provisional pole sitter is quite comfortable. I think he knows something that the others don't. Where do you find half a second? It's quite a bit to find. I don't know if that's going to be sandbags at this late stage. Just 5 minutes to go. Devon commenting, no BMW. We'll also find that there's a lack of many manufacturers, especially in this round over here. A lot of the drivers opting for a Ferrari or a Porsche. Those are your 2 most popular manufacturers. 7 from Ferrari, 5 from Porsche. And we have 2 Bentleys, 2 Audis, and the lone Lexus of Springbok Gamer. Springbok Gamer in 7th place. Just 4.5 minutes to go. 4 cars in the pits. That's B Racing, Judge. 5 cars in the pits. B Racing, Judge, Wesley, Gavin and Sania, your pole sitter. Treza and Nick Leon, 2nd and 3rd. Both out on circuit trying to improve those lap times. Both of them just over half a second adrift. You've got to ask. Couldn't be leaving it to the end. Half a second is quite the gap. Something in that Ferrari setup that nobody else has. Who knows? Or are we just going to see something happen towards the end of the session? Will Spreza be able to get a lot closer? Nick Leon's actually got 3rd. But look at those time differences. Just 1/100th of a second between 2nd and 3rd there. So And fourth and fifth really close together as well, just a hundredth of a second there too. So we've got some really close battles with a bit of gaps in between them. Ride with Nizmax, currently 9th. He is not the fastest Porsche. He's the second fastest Porsche. Fastest Porsche is Kuda just ahead of him, 1/10 of a second faster. Kuda's also out on circuit. Legend made a brief visit to the pits. He's back out on circuit. He wants to improve. He's currently 10th. Can improve if he can just find well, times are really close in the midfield. If he can just find himself 2/10s, he could potentially start the race in 8th rather than 10th. So times are really close. All to play for in this final run. Devin asking the question if cars are allowed to be swapped. The rules allowed for each driver to pick 2 manufacturers at the beginning of the season. So let's go with one that I know. Gavin, for example, chose the Lamborghini and the Bentley. I don't think he's actually made an appearance in the Lamborghini, but the way the rule works is you can switch back and forth as many times as you want between your 2 cars, and for the most part some of the guys stay in their cars, and some of the guys will change from car to car if the track suits the other brand, which in this case seems to be Ferrari. Gavin putting up a good fight. Sold Bentley up there, surrounded by Ferraris. Have a look with just a minute to go. Let's just go a little bit further down the order, starting in 18. Looks like it's going to be Force. He's in the pits, not a lot of time left, so he's not going to be able to improve. Just ahead of him, the Judge in 17th. B Racing still out on track, trying to improve. He's 16th. Eleanor Pace 15th. Ranger in 13th. Boucher in 12th. We've got Mike in 11th. And then the top 10, most of them are still out on track. So let's hold judgment for now. Legend on that final lap, he ran really wide there in the first Lesmo, or rather on the exit of the first Lesmo, really ran wide. See if he can still make up some time. Like I said, the times are so close, all you really need is 2 or 3 tenths and you're going to find yourself a few grid slots up. 4 tenths and you could find yourself in 7th. Provisional pole sitter, Sania. Time has come to an end, as you can see there on your top right, qualifying 0-0. That means you've got no time left. If you have crossed the finish line before the checkered flag, you can obviously finish that lap. Everyone else will come into the pits. Preza is one of those men that crossed the finish line rather before the checkered flag, so he can finish this lap, as is Gavin, I believe. We have a few cars on a final run. If we see them go up the main straight, that's because they believe they can improve. They've got a green delta. If you see them peel off into the pits, it's because they knew there was no point. It's like Supreza just backing off there. Seems like he's backed off for Gavin. So Supreza has accepted that. I think first, second and third are pretty much confirmed, unless Gavin can pull something really special out of the hat. If he can just find 500ths of a second, he can get his way up onto that second row. Roadrunner not far ahead of him. So any improvement at all would be a good one. Let's see what Gavin can do. He comes out of Parabolica and dives into the pits. So that's that. we will have a short recess as the cars return to the pits. Let's just go through that starting lineup. Senior will start on pole position from Nick Leon. That's your front row. How many times have I said that this season? Sorpresa in third, then Roadrunner fourth, Gavin in fifth, the lone Bentley. Then back to Ferraris with Wesley in sixth, Springbok Gamer in seventh, Kuda eighth, Nismax ninth. Legend again in the top 10, doing a good job. Mike 11th, Boucher 12th, Ranger 13th. We got BR in 14th, Pace in 15th, B Racing 16th, the Judge 17th. And then making up our field of 18 for the first time, of course, we'll start in 18th place. We'll go on a short recess as these guys do their final touch-ups to their cars. And we will be back with the formation lap shortly. And we're back. See the timer at the top of your screens. That's just indicating how much time the drivers have left to do any final touch-ups. What touch-ups could they be doing? Well, multiple things. Could be final setup changes. Could be final changes in your strategy. How much fuel are you going to put in? What lap are you going to come in on? You've got to do all of that in the 2 minutes provided, and then make sure to hit all the necessary ready up procedures. Otherwise you're going to find yourself starting from the pit lane. Just over a minute to go. Obviously we will have a full formation lap around Monza, and then when they come out of Parabolica at some point down that straight they will accelerate away, and we will commence with 90 minutes of Monza. 18 cars. Hopefully it doesn't get too hairy into turn 1. It's a real hard braking point, almost 90-degree right-hander followed by an immediate left-hander, so to get all these cars through there quite safely as well. Monza not the widest of circuits.
30 seconds.
You heard it there from the race engineer himself. 30 seconds to
20
go.
seconds.
Remember to ready up. Make sure you have enough fuel. Make sure your pits are
10
correct.
seconds.
There you go, 10 seconds to go, and we will commence with the formation lap. So hopefully everything is in order. Fortunately, the camera angle will not be the best camera angle for this formation lap. Let me just see if I can fix that. I can't. So we'll get our camera angles back when the race begins. So we ride with Gavin. That is the car the camera is stuck on. the corner I'm talking about. When everyone is flying down towards turn 1, all of a sudden you see a bunch of cars braking. Your eyes light up, you see 2 or 3 positions you could possibly make up, and you get all the wrong kinds of ideas, and all of a sudden there's havoc to turn 1. And the pit lane is way too busy for lap 1. So hopefully we don't see any drama there. We should be pretty safe if we can get through that first chicane. Everybody can just sort of space out a little bit. It's really in that turn 1, it can be so tempting. If I can make a position here, you go a little bit later on the brakes than you usually would, forgetting that your car is awfully full of fuel. You probably need that much more time to stop. So they're now really slowing down the field. It's very difficult to get the tyre temperatures up and your brake temperatures up on this formation lap, especially when the leader is going this slowly. Benefit of starting in pole. No safety car, so controlling the formation lap. Gavin will be aware of that Ferrari just behind him in 6th place. Ferraris do appear to have superior straight line speed. So let's see if Gavin can make inroads into the top 4 Ferraris, or if the Ferrari behind him will make it a top 5. There's Max and Kuda flying the flag for Porsche. And Springbok Gamer doing a good job. Seeing that solitary Lexus. Cars now go around Parabolica. Onto the main straight. Done all the work in qualifying to get on that front row. Done all the work to get that position. You don't want to mess it up now. You don't want to lose a position.
Green line, go, go, go.
Off we go. Want the best camera angle. Let's see what we can do with this. At least for turn 1. Don't want to cut away now. Nicely done by the leaders so far. Everyone getting through that sequence of corners, trying to see what's happening further back. Everything looks fine. We saw a bit of puff of dust on the inside, but nothing bad. We don't see any carbon fiber around the circuit. Let's have a look further back. Make sure everybody got through safely. The timing screens are just going a bit crazy because it's lap 1 and it's the first time the car's going through the speed trap. There we go. There's the judge in 18. Ooh, what's happened here? There's a mess at the back. There's a mess at the back. I don't know what's happened here. We've missed it. This was at the back. The judge finds himself in 18th place. Springbok Gamer qualified really well up the field. He's down the field. We need to go over another timing beam so I can give you an update. All these positions are incorrect, but back at the front, Sania leads from Spreza. It's a Ferrari 1-2. Gavin has made up positions at the start. He's put that Bentley in third place. How many times have we seen him in a podium position, or a potential podium position this season? So he can pull it off here in Monza. It's an old favourite. I think everyone here knows this track like the back of their hands. If not from here, from F1, or just about any other car game you've ever played. Monza is a favourite. It's a classic. Nick Leon squares up Gavin on the inside. Nicely done. Gavin doesn't fight back too much. I think he knows this is very early on in the race. So much can still happen and you don't want to get damage at this point. That'll just put a serious dampener on things. Speaking of damage, I think the judge has damage because he's in the pits very early on. B Racing is on his way into the pits, so I wonder if those Porsches found each other on circuit. And somehow Springbok Gamer was also involved in that because he lost a lot of positions. Boucher 15th, Forsyth 14th. He started from 18th, so he's actually, I think he's made up the most places so far on the grid. BR 13th, Ranger 12th, L9 11th, Nizmax 10th, Mike in 9th. Now Legend doing a good job, started in 10th, he's in 8th now. It's getting some of the performance out of that Ferrari that we saw from his mates in qualifying with the equal equipment. If he can just get his head down and get into some sort of tune, this 90 minutes will fly by. But if you're not in tune with your car, this 90 minutes feels like a 9 hour. The top three, all Ferraris, Sania, Sorpresa, Nick Leon. Gavin in 4th, best of the rest in the Bentley, Kuda 5th in the Porsche. Then we have another 3 Ferraris, that's Roadrunner, Wesley and Legend. And we have Mike in a McLaren, Nizmax, another Porsche, Ranger. He's in the Ferrari, away from all of his friends. He needs to catch up. We've got 2 Audis, Eleanor Pace and BR, they're following each other. And then Foss, 14th, Boucher, 15th. We've lost the driver. We've lost the judge. Thought he was in the pits very early on. I wonder what happened there. Maybe not wanting to continue after damage on lap 1, maybe a phone call, who knows, but no more judge in this race. We're down to 17 runners, we've lost a runner, and it's lap 2. Welcome to Radio Girl in the stream there, in the comment section. If you're looking for Mr. Judge has just left. I'm not sure what happened. He made his way to the pits after lap 1, so I presume he had damage. And then he did not emerge from the pits, he left the lobby. So I don't know if he's had an internet problem or if he's left the race. But obviously stay tuned, and I'm sure in the next couple of laps, if it was an internet problem, we should see him rejoin. I think he can rejoin and start from the pits. I'm not sure how that works, but if he does it quick enough. And there's a long time in this race, 90 minutes to go. Springbok Gamer having a bit of a recovery drive. He started well, I think he started in 7th place, if I'm not mistaken. He's down in 16th. Probably had the biggest loss at the start so far. There's Max down in 9th, Legend still holding on to 8th place. He's been able to clear that Porsche of Nizmax, 2.5 seconds is the gap. We've got I think that was a Bentley, I just caught a flash of it. Was that a Bentley going over? I think it was a Bentley, I'm sorry, it was a terrible camera angle, but I just saw someone cutting a chicane. Gavin has fallen back. You're not seeing it on your timing screen just yet. Not sure what happened there. Sorpresa still in close pursuit, just 3/10 of a second. No, I don't think it was his power, because we haven't had any of that at the moment. That's been suspended since Monday, I believe. So maybe just an internet problem. Hopefully we'll see him come back. First time we got 18 runners in the season. It didn't last long. It lasted a lap. But it was great to see 18 runners running down into turn 1 and getting through there relatively cleanly, if you excuse the exit. No change at the front. Senior from Sorpresa. Gap just a little bit bigger than it was. It was 2/10, now it's, well, it was 3/10, now it's 7/10. Senior will want to get away, break the slipstream. Get into some sort of momentum where he can just pull away. If he can translate that pace he had in qualifying. We saw in qualifying he was on pole by almost a second, almost half a second. So definitely got the pace, but it hasn't translated into race pace because Sorpresa is able to stay right with him. Hasn't been able to get away. Senior from Sorpresa, from Nick Leon, your top 3 in the same frame. Gavin in the Bentley, he was up into third briefly. Lost that position pretty quickly to Nick Leon. That was a turn. Nick Leon got him on the inside into the first chicane. Fallen back since. He's now fallen behind Kuda and Wesley. He's not having the best start to the race. Reason let your head fall at this stage. So long to go, an hour and 20 minutes. We've only done 10 minutes. Let's go back to that battle at the front. Last time we looked, we saw the top 3 were all in a frame, and the top 3 are all in one frame. 7/10 of a second, cover your top 3, and it's 3 Ferraris, line astern. Hopefully we don't see any collision. Take 3 Ferraris out in one go. Fantastic driving so far by these 3. Dominating proceedings so far. Kuda the best of the rest, and he's in a Porsche. Let's see how long he can stay there. Wesley giving him all sorts of trouble in that sky liveried Ferrari. Wants to get as close as he can in the back of that Porsche. Use all of the horsepower he's got on the straight and then try and get him into turn 1, as Nick Leon did with Gavin not so long ago. I'm sure some of these drivers would love to have the likes of DRS. Found myself hitting the DRS button a few times in this game and thinking, what are you doing? 17 runners, so no return from the judge. Senior still up front from Sorpresa, from Nick Leon. Kuda 4th. Leads from Wesley, from Gavin. We've got a battle of 3 at the front. And we've got a bit of a gap. 9 seconds. And then we've got a battle of 4. We've got Kuda, Wesley, Gavin and Roadrunner all close together now. The Ferrari up the inside, trying to get around the Porsche. Doesn't quite get it right. That allows Gavin to get side by side. Briefly, now Gavin swaps, comes to the inside. Getting really close now in a dangerous part of the track. The Lesmos, you want to commit right. Really good driving by everyone so far. Let's go further back, see what everyone else is doing. And you don't have to go too much further back. That battle of 4 I was speaking of will soon be a battle of 5. Legend in that Ferrari, catching up. Porsche creating a bit of a train here. That's allowing Nizmax to come back into this battle as well. Soon we'll have a battle of 6. I see a smattering of cars not too far down the road, about 3 seconds down the road. So if this Porsche Cuda is able to hold this position for another couple of laps, really creating a train, and he's basically compressing the whole field behind him. Because for a really interesting scenario, for a point in the race when guys are starting to spread out, they're rather getting condensed. This is allowing the leaders to run away even more. It's Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Tifosi would love to hear that at Monza. The Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Internet not having the best of days, as you can see on your screens. We do what we can. Stay with this battle. I want to stay with the battle up front, but this battle here is insane, and I think Cuda has finally broken. Yes, Wesley has gotten past. Gavin now has gotten past. Roadrunner all over the back of that Porsche. All similar colours. Getting a bit confused. Roadrunner and Cuda, 2 very different cars. Similar colours, similar liveries. Look at that. Cuda has somehow made his way ahead of the Bentley again. Kevin will want to get past that Porsche and chase after Wesley. It's a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4 at Monza. We don't have enough podium steps for all the Ferrari drivers at the moment. If this were an actual result, I'll tell you tomorrow would be a public holiday in Italy. What can the other manufacturers do? Best of the rest so far. Gavin in the Bentley, Cuda in the Porsche. Then we've got another Ferrari Roadrunner in 7th. Nizmax 8th. Legend 9th. He's lost the position to Nizmax. Those two swap positions. Mike's in 10th. Ranger 11th. Eleanor, he's in 12th. Let's go further back to Springbok Gamer. Ooh, we're having streaming problems here, it seems. There we go, we are back. Sorry about that. Let's go to Springbok Gamer. He is in 13th on that recovery drive. He has made up a few positions. He's just gone past Voss, and now his next target will be the Audi up the road of Eleanor Pace. He's got a bit of a hill to climb. That guy is 6.5 seconds up the road. Speaking of Eleanor Pace, there he is. Ooh, and he's been lucky there. We saw someone spun around and he actually just missed that car on the inside of the track. That could have ended very, very badly for the man in 12th place. Luckily for him, he holds on to that position, doesn't appear to have lost any time. Let's go down the order and see who that was. believe that was Ranger. Delivery I saw, I'm pretty sure that was Ranger. He was facing the wrong way and could have ended really badly. Well, Eleanor now up into 10th place, so that's really mixed things up a tad. Legend still 9th. There's Max still 8th. Roadrunner all over the back of Kuda. Needs to get past. There is no longer a Ferrari 1, 2, 3, 4. Gavin is ruining the party. He's in 4th place. Not a podium position. That top 3 is just too far away. We're going to have to do something special in the pits if they want to catch those top 3. Speaking of the top 3, where is Sania? Sania is your leader. He's increased his lead to 2.2 seconds now, so he has been able to stretch his legs and get away from Supreza, break that slipstream a little bit. But Supreza has not been able to get out of the clutches of Nick Leon, not yet. These two running close together. I wonder if Nick Leon is thinking, I can jump them both in the pit stops. Love to know what these guys have planned, or if everybody's just going to come in at the same time when we have 45 minutes remaining. Thanks for that update from Mrs. Judge regarding the judge. Judge is having internet issues and just wasn't able to play the game, unfortunately, because really everything was jumping around from his perspective. Or in his words, too lag. He may have used other words, but who am I to say? Best of the rest, still Gavin. In 4th. Kuda still flying that flag high for the Porsche, being able to stay ahead of Roadrunner, and he's actually got a bit of an advantage to Roadrunner. He's broken that gap to just over a second. Really, once you break that slipstream, it gets a little bit easier. If you're 2 or 3 tenths slower than the car ahead of you, but you're constantly within his slipstream, you may cancel that 2 or 3 tenths out. But once the slipstream is broken, you may find it a little bit more difficult to hang on than it was in previous laps. So thank you for watching. Judge is not on track, but you're more than welcome to stay. Shania still leads at the front from Supreza, from Nick Leon. Ferrari 1, 2, 3. Gavin 4th, Kuda 5th. Roadrunner in 6th. Sure, he'll be frustrated. He's in 6th place. He's got a Ferrari under him. He can see what the top 3 are doing. He can see what lap times they're doing. And he's like, right, let me have some of that then. That was Kuda taking out a bollard on the inside of the chicane there. That has slowed down a little bit. That's going to allow Roadrunner to go side by side. He's got the inside. And as he made it slip, he's slightly in front going into the chicane, but Kuda should have the inside. He doesn't. Roadrunner's pulled it off, and he's got that Ferrari ahead. Now Kuda will want to come back immediately because he knows that That's what he does. He went crazy late on the brakes. Roadrunner didn't expect that. Kuda makes his way past. That actually caused Roadrunner to lose a little bit of momentum. And Nizmax coming up on his gearbox very quickly. So now we have the two Porsches in 6th and 7th. Nizmax goes for the move straight away, or will he assess the situation and then go for it? As I say that, we see Roadrunner going over the grass. He's made a hash of that. He worked so hard to get ahead of Kuda. Gavin won't mind all that. He won't know about all that unless it's in the party chat, and you can hear all the screaming. But he'll be happy to be in a race of his own. Not really able to do anything about the top 3 at the moment. 17.2 seconds is the gap between the man in 3rd and Gavin in 4th. Roadrunner, what an up and down race he's had. He was in 4th place, lost those positions, he's come back. Now in 6th, needs to do the job of catching up to Kuda and passing him all over again. Still your top Porsche driver on the night so far, that is Kuda. 2nd Porsche driver, that would be Nizmax. He's in 8th place. Ranger 9th. We have lost another driver. Yes, we've lost another driver. We've lost Boss, I believe. We're down to 15 drivers, so we've lost 3 of them. The Judge was the first driver to go, Boss was the 3rd driver to go, and I've got to be honest, I'm not quite sure who the 2nd driver was. We missed that. But if you do know and you're in the comment section, let me know. I'll figure it out, I'll let you know. But we have lost 3 drivers, and we have not yet gotten through the first third of this race. In 5 minutes time we will have reached that point, first third of the race. First third of the race, all about that race start, all about what you do in the beginning leading up to the pit stops. Second third of the race, that's where all the action is, that's where all the pit stops are. Who comes in, who's smarter than who pulls off what, who makes a mistake and doesn't slow down in the pits and gets a penalty. That's where everything happens. And then obviously the last half hour, be lucky if you have a battle and people are still chasing each other. Sometimes you have a situation where everybody just has a race to the end. Hopefully we don't have that, and we'll still have these 3 Ferraris in close proximity towards the end of the race. That would be fantastic to watch. Gavin Kuda, Roadrunner. Nizmax. I almost called him Nizmax. I did. I almost called him Nizmax. I've never said that or pronounced that. I don't know why. Fantastic. Nizmax it is. Much better. Nizmax. BR in 9th. Archer 10th. Ranger 11th, Legend 12th, B-Racing 13th, Mike 14th, and then Springbok Dana making up the field. He's in 15th. With this, Sania and Nick Leon going side by side into the chicane. Oh, they're not good. Not good. There was contact. Sania landed up on the inside of the chicane. He didn't want to be there, and he almost looked like he got pulled sideways a little bit. Sania runs wide there. Wonder if he got any damage. They were going pretty slowly at the time. You are in the middle of the first chicane. You're not going very quick at that point. It's probably the slowest part of the racetrack. So if there is damage, it's probably minor. Nothing that could cause an early pit stop. But Nick Leon will have to find 3.2 seconds. He's going to get another opportunity to have a go at second place. Preza leads 3.7 seconds. Now obviously that incident between second and third has allowed him to just kind of find a couple of feet, find some fresh air. 3.5 seconds, it's not enough to relax though. We know that the pit stops can severely change things. Speaking of pit stops, 4 drivers have already made their mandatory pit stops. Those are Legend, E-Racing, Mike DeGard and Springbok Gamer. The rest of the drivers all need to pit, so your top 11. So Legend is your top driver that has already made his pit stop. When will we start to see the faster drivers coming in for their pit stops? Usually we see a lot of action in the pit lane around about that 45-minute mark. So I'd say anything from 50 to 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is pushing it a bit. Some of the drivers do push it into almost that last third of the race. Finish the race on fresh tyres. They've got that one advantage over everyone else. But at a track like Monza, is that going to be a good strategy? I mentioned in qualifying, not the widest of circuits. It is wide, but it's literally the I believe it's the minimum FIA Grade 1 standard for width. They couldn't be more narrow, which doesn't make sense when you think of certain street circuits with castles. Preza leads, Nick Leon second. So Sania has made a mistake with our screens. It's allowed Nick Leon to get his way into second. That top 3 has now spread itself out. Preza, then Nick Leon 6.6 seconds down the road, then Sania for the 2.2 seconds down the road. Someone who has made up a lot of ground. It's 4th place. And that's because he's been having a race of his own. Top 3 were completely out of the picture not so long ago. They were doing pretty well. They were just going through the track line astern, getting further and further away, and then they started battling each other. Preza got away with it. He leads the race quite comfortably. Nick Leon and Sania have lost approximately 7 seconds to Gavin in the last couple of laps. So podium position is not yet off the cards. 15 drivers from the 18 that started. Little bit of silence there, but that's because I'm looking at the timing sheet and trying to figure out who the third diamond is. I'm not sure. Should start recording my streams so I can go back and look at this. just under an hour to go. 58 seconds remain. And in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to start seeing a lot of action in the pit lane. Gaucho is now in the pits as we speak. He's the top 10 are the remaining cars that still need to do a mandatory stop. Where is Gaucho? He has emerged from the pits and he's emerged ahead of Legend. Get a little confusing now when the timing screen doesn't match what you see on screen, and that's sometimes because you think the timing screen is wrong, but it's people getting lapped. So just need that to settle down a little bit. Ooh, Nick Leon running wide, taking the Armco. We tuned into that car just in time to see that, and that'll cost him a little bit of time. Was that internet related, or was that something that happened? Not sure. We know when there's a little bit of an internet drop, we see the cars do silly things that they're not actually doing. It's just doing stupid things from our perspective, not from the driver's perspective. To him, everything probably looks fine. Let's hope we don't lose any more drivers. 15 drivers, 5 have done their mandatory stop, 10 still need to do their stop. As I say that, Sania, the first of those top 3 Ferraris. And look at that, the car does look pretty scuffed up. So he has picked up damage, he has had a bit of a rough time. Now I wonder if Gavin has just had a slightly cleaner race. He doesn't have any damage on that car. I wonder if that means he can jump the Ferrari in the pit stops if he doesn't have to spend as much time repairing the car. Potentially pick up the place here. Sania falling down the order. He's now in 6th place. Lengthy pit stop. We'll let you know when he gets on his way, so we can have a look where he comes out. Sania now in 7th, still stationary. Another thing to remember for all the drivers out there when making your pit stop, extremely important, don't forget the speed limit, folks. It's the only time a speed limit applies at a race circuit, but you want to stick to it, otherwise you will get a drive-through penalty. And well, ask anyone who's had a drive-through penalty what that does to the chances of your race. Preza leads from Nick Leon. Sania still in the pits. Is something wrong there? There we go, the car finally gets underway. I wonder if everything was okay in that pit stop, or if that was just a very lengthy pit stop to repair everything. He has spent quite a long time in the pits, and I'm sure Gavin will be able to jump in when that pit stop does come. If it was serious damage, he knew he couldn't stay out there. Chances of an overcut would just get smaller and smaller with each lap you did in a damaged car. Do have a Bentley in the top 3 for the time being. Obviously, Sania made that pit stop. And that Bentley looks in good condition. It doesn't look damaged. So I think he can have a quicker pit stop than Sania did and find himself in 3rd when all of this is done. Just needs to remember to slow down in the pits. We actually made comments on that in the last race. We were riding on board with Gavin, telling him to slow down when the penalty happened. driver's perspective of Monza, will do so with Gavin. So he doesn't fly into the pits and destroy my build-up here. Going to go riding with Gavin in third place. He's in the Bentley. Approaching that crucial first chicane. Nicely, just want to touch the curb on the inside. Don't take too much curb. Get on the exit. Best possible traction coming out of the corner. Straight and you accelerate after this. Okay, just touch the curb, get a good exit, done, that just about perfect. Next objective, there's no one. It's the apex on the inside, run to the outside of the track, just touch that curb, forward the track, there's no two. They look almost identical, trust me they're not. Now you head down another straight, down the hill, under the tunnel, towards the Scarry. Quickest of the three chicanes on the track. Left, quick right, too much of the curve on the inside, don't take too much curve over there, otherwise you lose it on the straight. Head down the back straight as quickly as you can, brake as late as you can, parabolica. Get on the inside of the corner, and then when you accelerate away, you use all of the outside of the exit. That actually looks like a really good load. Gavin is currently in second place. So we've been riding on board with him, and we can see that everyone dived into the bits. So Gavin has been promoted into second place, and the next one was also involved in that tangle with Tania. So it's also very possible that Nick Leon could have damage to that car, and if that results in a longer than usual pit stop, Gavin could find himself in second. So I've said it in the past and I'll say it again, sometimes you don't have to be the fastest on the race circuit, sometimes you just need to be one of the fastest, but the most consistent that will win you the race. That'll get you podium, that'll get you good results, perhaps you didn't expect to get good results at. Use your own way, stay consistent. Three at the moment, Lockwood, Ferrari, it's now present up. Two manufacturers in the top, Ferrari, Bentley and Porsche. Over on the top, other not favourites, Coach John 6. Rated in 7, also the last ride was not made in and Porsche stopped just yet. This makes the bird from the pit lane. We'll try to use these for you. So look, Nick Leon here. See how much time he lost there is behind it. Together. 115 seconds on the word. That's max. Timing speed is correct. 80 seconds down the road from Lisbon. So, not sure what happened there, but he lost over a minute. Should have eliminated his chances from being in the top 3. Gavin and currently in second place. 21 seconds in growth of the leader. I know how quickly these gaps can fall. They're really difficult to build up. You have to grind them out. You have to be extremely quick when you grind about a second with every lap. Away within 20 seconds out. And you can lose it in one straight by running across gravel trap and picking up damage. We're almost at the halfway stage now because the lobby have done their mandatory stops. They can still do their stops. So having that on his mind, when does the pit stop come? See him drive from the inside now, and we do have guys into the pits to make sure he slows down this time. Yes, he does. I think he was doing 40 k's an hour when he went over the line, so he is safely into the pits. Preza out in front. He was already all alone doing our second place, and no closer dive into the pits. Scooter follows Gavin into the pits. I wonder if that was his strategy or if he's responding to that Bentley ahead of him. We'll keep our eyes on them. See who gets going first. Place is currently fourth. But that's quite a gap. So for now, Gavin and Scooter are safe, they're still stationary. Now second place. Gavin gets on his way. And now Scooter gets on his way. I think Scooter had a slightly quick stop, but quick enough to jump Gavin in the pit stops. Getting a blue flag or something, I'm not sure what that is all about. I think that just means when you're coming out of the pits, that just means there's someone on the straight. They just give you a blue flag. It doesn't necessarily mean someone's tapping you. When you're coming out of the pits, if they give you a blue flag, it's just like, listen mate, be aware. Something over there. He's back on his way. He's in fifth place. 4 cars in front of him. They need to pit. And obviously Preza has that extreme 21-second gap with young guys. Preza should be, and all is said and done, Gavin should be second. And Nick should be third. Place at the moment, he's chasing down Gavin. And Division is second.
We are at the halfway mark, there's still a long way to go.
Getting all over the back end of that Bentley. Wants to get past, seems to be the fastest car at this stage. That gap was a little bit bigger than it is now. So to stay on the gearbox of that car. Have to be closer here so you can go to the inside. Not close enough about it. Tucks back in behind the Bentley. About this is when you're on the road, you've got to get chicane parts, you've got to get this 45 with brake points, gateways, all of that. When you're chasing, sometimes also with chasing, you make the silliest of errors. You don't ever want to do that. You want to get past this Bentley. Currently we have Audis in second and third. I mean, not if you look at that in mind. They are yet to pit, but second and third, you can say at some point I was second. Line, so. Camera angles have disappeared and we're stuck with the onboard. There we go, it seems like we're stuck with the onboard cameras for now. See, I've tried to adjust the sound there on the mic versus the game, so just let me know if that sounds any better. Apparently the cars are overpowering my voice. That's not good. Not good at all. So Suppressor leads from LNR, from Gavin. LNR still needs to pit. He's the only man in the lobby, still needing to make that mandatory stop. Only man in the lobby to pick up a drive-through penalty this time around was Ranger, I believe. He's already served that. That's been cleared. Everyone is on their way. No penalties to be served. Just waiting for LNR pace. When will he make his pit stop? How deep will he go? 40 minutes to go in this race. There we go, we've got our camera angles back. So LNR leads from Suppressor, Gavin in third, Nick Leon fourth, Kuda fifth, Nizmax in sixth. We don't have the Ferrari dominance that we once had. Suppressor obviously second, but that's only for now because LNR is going to have to pit. He only leads by 27 seconds. That's not enough. Not in this form of racing anyway. If we had a Formula 1 race, 27 seconds for the lead, someone needed to pit, I'd say it's going to be close on the exit. But over here, you could spend a minute in the pits. So he will obviously drastically fall down this order. For the most part, as far as I can make out, most of the people, most of the top 10 all on the lead lap. So when he does inevitably make that pit stop, he's going to fall down pretty quickly. See the stream getting rather busy. Got a few viewers on. It's nice to see. You see the stream does much better after the live stream. So we don't usually get too many viewers during the live stream. Maybe 10 people tune in during the live stream, but then after the race we get most of the views there. But it's good to see people on the live stream joining in. See the top viewed race of the season so far. Unfortunately, the only round that was not able to get any coverage was round 5. We missed that. That was last week. I was not able to broadcast. But the top viewed race was actually round 4, I believe, at Imola. was round 3. I think it was round 3 at Imola. That video has gotten well over 100 channels, and for a lobby that can barely get 20 drivers, that's quite a lot of views. So thanks to everybody who has supported the channel. Thanks to everyone who goes back and watches this after the fact. Listens to me comment on their bad driving when I can't even drive as quick as them, but criticism is fun. Preza still second. Eleanor still leads. He's yet to pit. Needs to make that mandatory stop. Nick Leon third, so he has cleared Gavin. However, Ferrari 1-2 yet again. Just judge if you're still in the comments section. Let me know if it sounds better. I have quite a few volume levels here in front of me, and one is for the game, and one is for the mic, and one is for the computer, and so I've adjusted them to what I think should sound a little bit better. So let me know how it sounds. Eleanor leads from Preza from Nick Leon. It'll be interesting to see Eleanor. How deep can he take this car? 36 minutes remaining, so he has almost taken the car into the final third of the race, which is rather impressive. 60 minutes on the same set of tyres. Just means at the end of the race, if he finds himself in the midfield, there we go, finally he dives into the pits. And that's going to allow Preza to take his rightful place as the leader. Obviously, when Gavin dived into the pits, Preza was leading the race by 21 seconds. Preza now leads the race from Nick Leon by 17 seconds, so he has lost time in the pits. Goes over the line now and he will reclaim the lead of the race. Doesn't appear so on your timing screen, but he will reclaim the lead of the race. He has done so, and it will show you that when he crosses the first speed trap. We're having a husband-wife reunion here in the comment section. It's great to see. Thanks for joining, both of you. Judge, disappointed not to have you out on track. Apparently you had some internet issues, but thanks for getting on the stream and supporting Sonic Sim. Still 15 drivers. Actually, maybe Judge can tell me the we've obviously lost him and we've lost Force. Can you tell me who the third driver is? We started with 18 drivers, we have 15 drivers. Who else is missing from the lobby? I've missed that. Preza leads from Nick Leon, 17.2 seconds is the gap. Preza will have fresher tyres, which could prove crucial. Evans in third. It seems to be a comfortable third at the moment. Cuda fourth, Eleanor fifth. He went in really late. Last man on track to pit. He's come out in fifth place. He's done a good job in that Audi. Almost said solitary Audi. He's not the solitary Audi. There's two Audis. There's another one in ninth. BRNTZ19. Call him BR for short. BRNTZ19. Cuda fourth. Eleanor. There's Max. Hasn't really challenged at the front of the race at any point, but he has had a consistent race, and I think he's got pretty much the maximum he could get out of that Porsche. So Judge retiring from the race and now getting moral support from his wife in the comment section. Always entertainment at Sonic Sim, even for the commentator. I love it. Not even Judge knows who the third driver is. Help me out, guys. If anybody else is in the... I see there's like 10 viewers or something, so if you're not a driver and you watched qualifying and you can figure it out. Obviously the Judge lost his place. Horse lost his place. But who was the third driver? I never watched my own streams back. I might have to go back into qualifying just so I can sleep tonight. Need to figure out who that third driver was. Still 15 drivers. Actually thought we were going to have a lot less at this point in the race. We lost those 3 drivers pretty early on. Within 25 minutes of the race starting. Thank you very much to B Racing for giving the channel a subscription and obviously joining the stream, watching on the stream. Sonic Sim YouTube channel doing pretty well, and the community continues to grow. Because we get quality racing week in, week out. Spreza leads, Leon second, Ferrari 1-2, Bentley third. Seems to be able to hold off that Porsche pretty comfortably. My mics are fine. Basically got my mics on the settings I had them for rounds 1, 2 and 3, so I don't think anything's wrong with my mics. I do think something's wrong with my internet though. Something's not quite right every now and then. I'm just noticing this tiny little buffer that's not supposed to happen. So I do apologize if the quality's not quite what it should be. That's on my internet provider. Roadrunner has had better days. He's in 7th place. And a bit of a recovery drive. And he's going to have his mirrors full. Someone else who's on a recovery drive. It would be Sneer. Found himself in the top 3 for most of the first stint of the race. And then just disaster with Nick Leon just before a pit stop that lost him almost 10 minutes on track. So it's got a lot of work to do to come back from everything. His next target will be Roadrunner up the road in an identical Ferrari to his. BR in 9th. Clayton. Maybe it was Clayton. I don't remember seeing Clayton in qualifying. I'm not sure. Started with 18, we've now got 15. We lost 3. I know who 2 of them are. Don't know who the last one is. Sorry about that if it's you. Should have spoken up by now. We've had 33 laps. And we're in the final sprint of this race. As I predicted earlier on, usually when we get to the last third, there's a lot of open gaps. Everyone's in their own race. Everyone's found their own little part of the racetrack that they're busy with no battles on circuit to speak of. You can't get too excited at this point in the race. There's nothing to get too excited about. Just everyone running around pretty much on their own. Going through those gaps to give you an idea. I think the closest gap on circuit is the gap between Nick Leon and Gavin. That's 2.1 seconds, and that's Gavin picking up a bit of dust. We've just picked up that footage late, but we just saw a bit of dust on the outside, and I'm not sure if that was from Bentley, but we'll find out when they go over the timing screen. I think that was not the Bentley. I think that was Nick Leon that got the dust, because gap came down. It was 2.2 seconds. It's now 1.6. Gavin finding time on Nick Leon and the Ferrari ahead of him, trying to destroy the dreams of a Ferrari 1-2 at Monza. Don't know what's going on with my word pronunciation today. Almost tried to say 2 with an R in it. Not good. Another Ferrari driver we can speak of. 10th place, legend. He's done a pretty solid job being consistent. If he has made any mistakes or had any off-track excursions, they were off our screens. We didn't see that. Seems like he's just made the one pit stop, and it was relatively quick, so I don't believe he had any damage on that car, or any significant damage on that car. Had a pretty solid race. I think at one stage he found himself in 8th, started in 10th, got up to 8th, and he has since fallen back down to 10th, but he's where he started. He's in the top 10. He's going to get a handful of points. Apparently we have lost a viewer on the stream. Yes, apparently Judge's cat was watching the stream, but there's no action, folks. There's no action. There's no action on screen, and the cat's become distracted. He's on his own mission. There's no time for this. Will we have action on track? It's up to this Bentley over here. Can keep up to the Ferrari ahead of it. 1.9 seconds is the gap. Saw a mistake earlier that put these two very close together. "25 minutes to go," just under 25 minutes to go. And we follow the closest battle on the racetrack at the moment. It's the battle for second place between Nick Leon and Gavin. Gap is 1.9 seconds. We look for other gaps. Second closest gap we have is Nia and Roadrunner, and you can see how big that gap is. So we'll stay with this one for now. If we're going to see action, it's probably going to be here. I think Springbok Gamer will be rather frustrated with his drive today. Rather not his drive, but the events that took place at the beginning of the race. Qualified pretty well. He's found himself outside the top 10 for much of the race. Apparently the viewer I lost here on YouTube goes by the name of... Let's see if I can... Oh, it's... Sorkies. Fantastic. He's not interested in our stream. Not interested in my voice. He's on a mission. Well, he's a cat from Limpopo. It's a crazy cat. Preza leads from Nick Leon. That gap hasn't changed much since they emerged from the pits. Still at 17 seconds. Gavin has been able to close that gap to Nick Leon just a little bit. It was 2.1, it's now 1.8. Not much of a change, just 3/10. Kuda further back, 13 seconds down the road, then 21 seconds down the road, Eleanor. So like I say, not a lot of battles on track. Not a lot of potential for battles on track. We've actually got Boucher. Not too far behind Legend. You know, these two can be quite competitive in the party chat at least. Can get quite snarky, the banter. Be interesting to see what happens if they find themselves in a position where they can go side by side. Preza, the gap is slightly bigger. He's increased that gap from 17 seconds to 18 seconds. Takes another second out of Nick Leon. While Nick Leon continues to lose time. Let's follow this battle. Gavin now 1.2 seconds. It took another half a second out of Nick Leon on that last lap. I wonder if he's just struggling a bit. To everyone who heard that on YouTube, yes, that was my phone. Professional, I know. Ah yes, that's exactly what I want to see. An SMS from my internet provider saying internet may be slow. So if you do see any buffering on your side, there we go. BRNTZ. He's had a pretty quiet race. He's in 9th place. Good result. Earlier on in the race, BR was running just behind Eleanor pace. The two Audis were running line astern. That is no longer the case. Eleanor is in 5th. Took the car very, very late on that first set of tyres. Now if he can do something crazy at the end here, remember that he will have the freshest tyres on the track by quite some margin. So he's going to be able to throw this car around a lot more than anybody else. He's not going to have to worry about conserving the tyres as much as everybody else. And towards the end there, he's going to have a relatively fresh set of tyres, probably halfway through their lifespan. When everybody else is starting to get on tyres that are a little bit slippery. Judge making the comments there about slipstream. Slipstream is going to come into effect now. We're seeing the cars getting closer together. If you can get into that slipstream, you can stay on the back of that car so much easier. Much more difficult thing is to get there. As Gavin is showing, that gap went from 2.7 to 2.1, then 1.8, then 1.2, but now it's gone back up to 1.8. It's going the wrong way as far as the Bentley driver is concerned. we'll do is next week, if I'm still having these sort of internet problems, just turn the latency down just a little, so you'll still get the same quality at home, but or rather you should get much better quality at home, but you'll have a bit more of a delay, so stream might be a minute behind what I'm actually saying, but it'll be a better stream. I'm still learning as I go along, and obviously it has gotten better already from round 1. So it'll just get better as time goes on. Spectator mode obviously got fixed in recent times, and that's added quite a lot to the game. Not having to make 3 or 4 videos a race. Now you can join the stream and watch the race and qualifying session in its entirety. One of the busiest racetracks on the European continent when it comes to activity. Obviously Monza, home to Formula 1. They have their own, obviously for the Italian Grand Prix, then they have the 6 hours of Monza, which falls under the FIA World Endurance Championship. They've also had a round of DTM and the Formula Regional Championship. If you don't know what the Formula Regional Championship is, the Formula Regional Championship is basically a Formula 3 car with a Renault engine. Or you can call it an Alpine engine, but everybody knows that Alpine is actually just a Renault. So it's Formula 3 with a Renault engine. Leon still second, and that gap has come down slightly. We saw it get up to as high as 19 seconds, but now it's 16.3, so I wonder if Freza has made a mistake anywhere on circuit. Gavin a little bit closer, 1.4 seconds. There's Max on the back of Sania. Half a second in between these two cars, the battle for 7th place. Near on a recovery drive. He has cleared that Porsche. See if Nismax can come back at him, or if he will simply clear off into the distance. We have under 15 minutes to go in this race, final stages. Not quite sure what happened here, but Legend was having a pretty good race. Started in 10th, made his way up to 8th in the early stages of the race, then lost a position or 2, got his way back to 10th, but raced along in the place where he started for quite some time. Would have been happy with the result. Now he's in 13th. Wonder if he had to make another stop and we didn't see it on our screens. Is still making light work of things. The gap continues to come down, 15.8 seconds. Wonder if that's just him slightly lifting off, not giving everything on those tires, trying to conserve a bit of tires towards the end of the race. Maybe he can just, maybe we'll see that gap extend again with like 5 minutes to go when he's like, right, time to go. We'll monitor that gap, 15.7 seconds, so just increasing a little, bobbing and weaving. Gavin now has cleared Mike the guard, laps him. That's the car in 14th place. Gavin up in 3rd. No drive-through penalty this time. No speed limit penalty this time, and he could bring home a very impressive penalty. I almost said a very impressive penalty, sorry. Gavin, if you're watching, no, don't bring home any penalties. Could bring home a very impressive result, 3rd place. Ferraris looked extremely strong in qualifying, and then at the start of the race, we had a Ferrari top 5 at a stage. So, let's put that Bentley on the podium when it looked like it should have been a day where Ferrari dominated more than just the top 2. Stream is currently 30 seconds delayed, so I'm just going to increase it a little bit for next week, and hopefully that should get rid of the minor buffering that we've seen on this broadcast. Preza still leads, Leon still second, still making up time, but not fast enough. Just 11 minutes to go, 15.8 seconds. I think Preza would have to make a mistake all on his own up front there. We haven't do anything about Nick Leon. That gap's 2.5 seconds. Wonder if he's still looking for second, or if he has accepted that 3rd place. Who'd have 4th? Great result for the Porsche. Eleanor 5th. And then Roadrunner, another one of the Ferraris. Will be one of the Ferraris thinking what could have been. Top 4 position easily. Sania could have won this race. I've said that a few times this season. Just shows how quickly you can make a mistake, how quickly everything you've worked for can get thrown on its head from one error, one lapse in judgment, one break in concentration. 90 minutes. And it just takes a split second to mess it up. Judge making the comment on the track temperature, something I actually wasn't looking at. Track temperature dropping slightly, wind picking up slightly. This could be interesting towards the end of the race, how it affects the cars, how it affects the tires. Preza now coming up. On the back of, I'm trying to get the name here, there we go, BR enters at 90 to lap him. There we go, laps the car in 9th place. Top 8 are now on the lead lap. Good performance by the 2 Ferraris, 1st and 2nd, but what could have been? Like I said briefly, there was a all Ferrari top 5. And then for 2 or 3 laps or so, there was an all Ferrari top 4. So 4 and 5 didn't last long, but there was a Ferrari top 3 for much of the start of the race. First half an hour of the race, they were at it. Didn't really engage with each other, just line of stone, lap after lap. Made a huge gap. Looked like a Ferrari 1, 2, 3 would be certain. And then obviously the near Nick Leon collision happened at the first chicane. And that changed everything, allowing Gavin to jump one of those Ferraris. 7.5 minutes to go. We're almost there. Supreza's almost there. Gap continues to come down, 13.9 seconds, but it's not enough. It's not going to come down in time. The only way it's going to come down in time is if it gets a very big boost of acceleration in the form of a Supreza mistake. Judging by the way he's going around this circuit, he's not going to make any mistakes anytime soon. Leon second, Gavin third, Peter fourth. Senior still on the back of Roadrunner, hasn't given up on that 6th place. Obviously that track temperature we spoke about earlier does play a part in ACC. The cars will start to feel the effects of that track temperature. If I'm not mistaken, as the track temperature goes down, I think they begin to lose grip. I think, yes. So, could be interesting at the end here if you have a combination of losing grip because of track temperature as well as aging tires. Could be a terrible combination, and we could see 1 or 2 drivers making horrible mistakes right at the end. 5.5 minutes to go. Don't you go anywhere. Stayed with us this long. Might as well stay for the end. The final shootout. Preza now going through final moments in the race. That gap 13.7 seconds. I think Nick Leon can do anything at this stage. Gavin holding firm in third. Don't really see any potential changes in position towards the end of the race here. If we do get one, it's probably going to be this one. Sania getting really close to Roadrunner. They're obviously in equal machinery. Both were having much better races in the first half hour. If you had told them in the first 20 minutes of the race, you guys will be fighting for 6th, I don't think they'd be too impressed. Sania just taking himself out of that Ferrari top 3 with a pit stop that took way too long. Not really sure what happened there. Well over a minute lost on track. Three minutes now. President Nick Leon Gavin, that remains your order. I don't think we're going to see any changes there, unless we see fireworks. Leon. You know, he will know he could have won this race earlier on. Was in third. Absolutely pushing the two guys in front of him, but just passing. Not the easiest thing on this racetrack. Of the more narrow circuits when it comes to modern standards. These are not go-karts. Sneer still all over the back of Roadrunner. Wants that 6th place, wants those extra points that he can pick up by improving that position just by a little. I think he'll pick up an extra 5 points or so.
Alright man, the leader is on the final lap. Give it a final push.
Here you go. We're going to ride with your leader for the final lap of this race. He has started that final lap. He enters turn 1 for the final time. I'm getting all the camera angles and not the one I'm looking for. There's the one I'm looking for. Let's just give a final helicopter cam, final lap for your leader, Surpresa. Gap has come down a little bit more, but now becoming irrelevant. 10.9 seconds. Why does my phone have so many notifications, and why am I checking my phone just before the stream ends? Put the phone down. Here we go. Surpresa now, not much more work to do. He's done all of the hard work. Now he just needs to bring this car home. He's gonna go through Ascari for the final time. Heads up that back straight towards Parabolica. When he comes out of Parabolica, he's gonna see that main straight. He's gonna breathe a sigh of relief, because he knows done exactly what was required. Stayed out of trouble, stayed consistent, stayed quick throughout, and there we go. Winner of round 6 in Monza, Surpresa Ferrari. Very nicely done. Nick Leon goes over the line to secure that Ferrari 1-2. There goes Gavin. Your podium has been secured. It's Ferrari, Bentley, podium, Surpresa, Nick Leon, and Gavin. And we just wait for Kuda. He's going around Parabolica now. Just wait for all the cars to classify so we don't get any surprises in the timing screens. There we go. He goes over the line, classified. There we go. 4th place for Kuda. Highest of the Porsche runners. Then Eleanor, who ran a very different strategy to everyone else, but with 35 minutes remaining, he's going to finish 5th. Very nicely done. And Sania, he has got past Roadrunner, and he's going to come home in 6th place. Gets the points he wanted at the end. Roadrunner over the line in 7th, Nismax over the line in 8th. There we go. We just now wait for Legend. And that's that. So let's just go through the field before it disappears off our screens. Surpresa 1 from Nick Leon, Gavin in 3rd. Then we've got Kuda 4th, Eleanor 5th, Sania 6th, Roadrunner 7th, Nismax 8th, BR 9th, and Voucher, that's your top 10. Then outside the top 10, Ranger 11th, Springbok Gamer 12th, Legend 13, Mike 14, B Racing 15, and finally I know who the third driver was. So your 3 retirements were Foss, Wesley, and the judge. And no, it wasn't Clayton, because Clayton did not make an appearance. So there we go. There we go, folks. That is round 6. That is Monza, season 7 of Sonic Sim Racing. Thank you to everybody who has joined. This has been one of our busiest streams of the season so far when it comes to live viewers. So that's really great to see. Obviously next up on the calendar, we head off. Oh, I'm so glad I'm a commentator. Next track, we head off to Suzuka. And obviously that's next week, 24th of June, same time, 90-minute race. I'll be here if Escom allows me to. And no, this broadcast is not sponsored by it. I'll be back next week. Sonic Sim will be back next week. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody who's going to watch this later. My voice is getting tired. I better go. Thank you. Goodbye.